This is Hot Mic. Hot Mic. On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 of Hot Mic, ready to rock and roll here on this Wednesday morning. Pfizer Media Zone coming up in about a half hour. Visit with newly drafted Joey Danielson of the Texas Rangers. Drafted in the 17th round yesterday for the Bison baseball team. That's coming up in about a half hour. Really pumped to have our next guest on. I was talking all about him last week when we were in Las Vegas at Big 12 Media Days when we visited with Matt Campbell, the Iowa State head football coach, because now his assistant head coach is West Fargo's own Tyler Roehl, who joins us on the show this morning. It's a pretty good role for West Fargo. We had Matt Strom yesterday making big news, and now we got the other icon of West Fargo. Look at the new office, man. You're looking good. How you been?
Really, really good. I hope you're doing the same. Now, how about that all-star game? And he goes in there and he executes at a high level. That was really cool to see. So happy for that kid. Wow. That's awesome.
West Fargo representing, right? That's what you expect.
Packer pride.
Right?
Packer pride, no doubt. Really cool to see.
So it's been all of about, 4.5, 5 months? How have things adjusted? How have things gone?
Oh, so grateful. Obviously everything happens for a reason, and how everything transpired, everything went down, the way that everything shook out, for myself, for my family, couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity. You think of the people that I get to work with every day. Taylor Mauser, who's the OC, coaches the tight ends, is the whole group. There's no ego. They all want to work together. It's not who's right, it's what's right. How can we continue to move this thing forward? Offensive line coach and Ryan Clanton, who we faced, who was at UNI, obviously back together with Coach Pauly, who's a dear friend of mine, who does an unbelievable job. And then Jake Waters, who has the quarterbacks. I mean, the staff is one that I'm very grateful to be a part of. And then to go somewhere, change can be hard. But when you change with the right people, it can be, the growth can be so exponential. And Coach Campbell does an unbelievable job. And to go to a place where you feel very valued is very special to me. And he truly values how I think, how I see football, my philosophy, how I coach, my coaching style. I'm really appreciative of the opportunity that he's given me here.
So I remember seeing the movement in the Iowa State staff, and I'm like, and I told Kolpak, I think he was here on the show, I'm like, that keep an eye on this. Not even talking to you, I'm like, that might be something that Tyler may be, or Iowa State may be interested in Tyler. Can you give us the backstory on that? That how much you'd been at Tennessee State for a bit, and then the opening came about in Ames.
Yeah, obviously, full steam ahead in Nashville and doing everything I could there, and then just get a random phone call and talked with Coach Campbell for a bit. Kept Coach George up to speed on what was happening. Felt like that was the best thing to do, and then interviewed for a couple hours with the Iowa State staff, and then got offered the opportunity. And everything happened really, really fast. I think that was on a Friday, and I started driving to Iowa on Saturday at, let's just say, noon. Get to Ames on Sunday, and then I wanted to get my family. It had already been 2-3 weeks. I wanted to get my family here as fast as possible. Had a house that Sunday night that I had gotten here. I mean, it just, everything was so bang, bang, bang. But you got to be ready to do that. And just knowing the people here and this opportunity, it was one that if it were presented to me, it was going to be really hard to say no. Like, I was really excited when I got that phone call. So everything happened really fast, came out of nowhere, but again, so grateful for this opportunity.
Matt Campbell told me you killed it in the interview. What went down? Tell me why it went so well in your mind.
Oh, it's honestly, we didn't even really talk X's and O's. I think college football now is about relationships and people. And, the thing that I preached about in my philosophy is earning trust and building trust. And trust isn't earned in a day, it's day by day. The type of energy that I'm about, I'm going to bring positive energy. I'm not going to be someone who's walking around with bad body language, an attitude of we get to go to work. I'm like, people ask, how you feeling? I'm past full. I'm so excited because there's so many news with this opportunity, new opponents, new group of guys to work with, um, new stadiums to go play in. There's so many new opportunities, and just things that I preach on, and discipline and accountability and having a relentless work ethic. So it's more about just kind of having a connection together, seeing if I worked with the staff, coming in and having a big picture, overall view from an offensive standpoint. The OC has not called plays, but I promise you, he's really, really sharp, and he's going to do an unbelievable job. But to help him through game planning and just having big picture vision, being in that chair for the last 5 years. So yeah, it was more just about me and who I am as an individual, rather than how you block up a gap scheme play versus an out front.
Were you ready to rip the doors off the hinges when spring ball opened, I imagine then?
Oh man, absolutely. I've this running back group is really unique and special, but very young, very young. I think there's one player in that room that's over the age of 20. And
Wow.
the biggest thing for me is just those things that I hit on: accountability and discipline. And it's a race to maturity. How fast can we grow up and figure out what it takes within championship details and habits to execute on the opportunity that we have daily? So leading those young men into spring ball, and kind of, my philosophy on the position, playing it at NDSU and then with the Seahawks, and just the things that I did to find success, not only on the field but off the field, and continuing to be a mentor and the coach that they need every day. I mean, for a while it was just me here, so I was able to get in and learn the system, because I haven't had to learn a new offense for a while. So truly staying up here every night late to learn, because I wanted to be able to go in front of that group confidently, and teach it like I knew it like the back of my hand, like I had been able to do for years.
Yeah.
So and just finding the best way to teach them, because coaching is teaching, and teaching is to inspire learning. So how can I inspire those guys and guide them to learn the best way? So I spent a lot of hours trying to figure out the best way to convey the message in the material the best way.
Did the players know your background? Did you have to tell them out? Did they know about your play calling, your success at North Dakota State?
Yeah. Having really been in touch with a few of them in the recruiting
Yeah.
process, you had a little bit of familiarity. But coach, my first day here, it was like 7:45 a.m. I met right with that running back room, and Coach Campbell introduced me and gave them my background, and then I got to spend 30, 45 minutes with them before they had to head to class. And the things that I just hit on and what they're going to get, I didn't even talk X's and O's there either. Because guys, my number one thing before I can coach you in anything is I need to earn your trust. And just hit on like who I'm about, what I'm about, how I can help them achieve their fullest potential. So I think they had an understanding. And to me, it's more than the football, it's the relationships, and me getting to know them. So I feel like there's a real good level of comfort with each other and connection. I look at coaching like kind of like cell phone service. If you have four bars of cell phone service with your player or with your group, they're gonna run through a wall for you. If there's only one bar of service, well, there's going to be some static. There's
Yeah.
going to be some apprehension. There's going to be some caution. Why is he telling me to do this? So right now, I feel like we're in a really good spot. Those guys have been really working hard this summer. going through some player run practices and doing stuff with the strength staff. So we're trending in a good direction, but there's a lot of work to do.
Ty, to be this close to home is that a huge benefit of the job, a nice byproduct of the job? How would you describe it when that came about? Say, okay, I get to stay in the upper Midwest as well.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah.
The familiarity with recruiting footprint,
Yep.
being able to go into North Dakota, into South Dakota, and a little bit of outsides of Minnesota. I had recruited the state of Iowa for 8 years, so having Des Moines, so there's so much familiarity with that, which is comforting, and then family really close, and that's big to me. So to be able to get back to Lakes Country for the last 3 weeks and be able to just I don't know the last time I've been able to do that with my family. Just spend time with my family for 3 straight weeks at the lake, surrounded by family and friends. It was unbelievable. So that's a huge perk, really big perk.
Now, we were all giddy to see you for week 2 at Tennessee State. Did you upset some people when you took the job?
I don't know. That's kind of interesting. That one was going to be unique.
Weird?
I'll put it that
Yeah,
way.
weird.
Really,
I'll say weird.
really weird. But no, like I told you, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And it would have been nice to get back to see some people in person, but that's probably, I don't know about it. I care deeply for a number of people there, and gonna miss sitting up in that press box with Coach Hedberg. So that would have been very weird.
I ask you about that. So, do you know? Are you going to be on the sideline or up in the booth on game day?
Yeah, through their interview process, it was potentially be up in the booth. But I think as we've gone through practice and how the players have responded to my coaching, my energy, there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to be down on the field. And what's unique is we're going to have iPads now.
Yes.
So we can.
Yep.
So there's some technology, so I don't have to be up in the booth. I can be down on the field, yet kind of have a bird's eye view of everything. And I'm indifferent. I'll do whatever the team needs me to do. But to be down on the field and to bring energy, to bring that passion and that fire that the guys need when it's maybe a third down and got to have it in a crucial situation, moment of truth, I think is unique to get back to, because I haven't been able to do that, and I've had to do it and just kind of pound my fist up in the press box. But no, to be down on the field would be nice.
I'd say it's been a little bit. You miss it? You think you're gonna be miss being back, or like being back on the field?
I think it's so different. Literally, you're up in the press box and you have a bird's eye view and you're almost playing chess or like a video game up there. But to be down there, there's so much to football. Just you can feel the energy of the crowd, the stadium, the environment, the demeanor of the player, and to continue to preach the physical intent that we want to play with. For 3.5 hours or whatever is what I desire. Yeah. And to be down there with them. There was a couple games where I almost took the headset off and ran down to the field.
Which ones?
But no,
which ones? Come on, you got to tell me now.
The first one is the spring game in Carbondale. That was
yeah.
I could have ran down there and just wanted to give them the energy to, hey, we got to go now, guys.
Yep.
But no, it's I think that'll be fun to be back down there.
You got a couple more minutes here?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to break. We come back. We'll visit a couple more questions with Tyler Roehl on his new job at Iowa State as the Cyclones get set for 2024. Back with T. Roehl. We'll wrap up Hot Mic right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Final few minutes here of our show on this Wednesday. Back with Tyler Roehl joining us live in Ames, Iowa. I got an email to ask, has Tyler talked with Tim Polasek lately? How have you chatted with the head football coach up here?
Not a ton. The month of June gets really busy, with camps and official visits. Um, and then you get to July and it's kind of everyone turns off their phone for
Yep.
3 weeks to a month. So in the last couple months, I haven't. But just from afar, just seeing that he's doing well, and um, no, it's been kind of I guess sparse lately.
Yeah. You can't escape North Dakota, as I asked Matt Campbell about, because your opener is against UND. How much is the head football coach bugging you about? Because you know him better than anybody on that staff.
Yeah, I think there's familiarity, obviously, with playing against them and um, playing multiple times against them. It's how can we within this offensive system attack that defense, not truly seeing it from the perspective that I had at NDSU, but seeing it through the lens of how we activate schemes, concepts, how we do it offensively here. Knowing the personnel, um, kind of on the team, and looking at it from that standpoint, but trying to look at it through a different lens, knowing kind of that whole situation in the new players, the new staff there, the environment that they're going to be coming into. Um, you know, Me only being in this environment once 10 years
Yeah,
ago,
right.
but an unbelievable community. The support that this place has is um, and quite unbelievable. And so no, I there's familiarity, and really looking forward to it.
I am intrigued with what you've heard about the Iowa State Iowa game. What have you heard about it? How excited are you to be a part of that for the first time?
I know that it's a very heated rivalry. Um, it'll be man, that'll be a fun
Yeah.
game, and it's right off the bat. I mean, game two. So just um, knowing that they got a big challenge. They're really good.
Yeah.
So
Well,
for us to
Iowa.
go,
You know Iowa really
oh
well. So,
yeah, to go into that environment and to have to execute early in the season, things that we're going to have to prepare for through fall camp, and not overlooking week one, but knowing that there's things that we can implement in practice to get us ready for all different environments, for us to communicate at a high level, to execute at a high level, knowing how we want to get after that structure of defense. What a fun opportunity,
mm.
and that's what college football is all about. So really excited for the non-conference opponents.
Tyler, I'm curious, and I know fans are interested as well on the Eli Green situation, on how that unfolded. I know the portal is a crazy world. Can you tell on your perspective on that? When did Eli contact? How did that all go about and adding him to your roster?
Yeah, you really see everything out of the blue, and the relationship that I had, that Coach Pauly had,
Yep.
once he went in, and reaching out to him and just seeing if it would be a fit for him, um, and knowing that there was some interest, but he had a lot of people contacting him and opportunities. Um, but the thing, it's about relationships and people, and to go to a place where you're going to feel valued, to go to a place where you trust the people. I think that's what that came to fruition, and ultimately why he chose to come here. Knowing that he was going to be invested in daily, by people that he knew were truly in his corner. So no, excited to be with him again. Him and I, had a really close relationship. He would stop my office anytime he was up in the offices just to catch up. So no, that's neat. It's a neat part of this deal.
I know you got to get rolling here, and I appreciate your time today. How much will you keep an eye on what's happening in Fargo? You're going to be in your own submarine in Ames, but how much are you going to keep an eye on the 2024 Bison?
Well, obviously, yeah, I'll be immersed with what I have going on here. but there are a number of people that I really care about, and got to see a bunch of them at Cordell Volson's wedding.
Yeah.
My son and I hopped in my car on Saturday. We weren't supposed to be in Minnesota. He was supposed to have a tournament, but some scheduling things came up, and we're like, you know what? Let's hop in the car and let's drive the 4 hours uh, to go surprise Big Cordell, because
That's
I had told
awesome.
him that I wasn't going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
And the smile on his
Oh,
face,
that's
the hug
awesome.
that he gave me, but to see some of those guys that are still playing there, um, there are a number of people that I really care about and hope have real ultimate success. So obviously we'll keep an eye and see how they're doing.
Now, you're not working August 29th. That's Thursday night. I imagine you can keep an eye on what's going to happen in Boulder, Colorado that night.
Yeah, get downhill and run the ball. Get downhill and run the ball. That'll be interesting. That defense, Coach Olson's got his hands full.
Yeah.
That they'll, but I'm excited. Just to be able to see how that defense is going to have to prepare for the multiple things that the offense can do. I don't know if they're going to do what I had done, or if it's how much it's going to change. But no, it'll be a unique opportunity for them.
And you guys, I just looked, you don't play Colorado this year. That's too bad. You
No,
don't get a chance to see them
yeah,
this season.
no doubt. And what a beautiful area too. And I know I hit on it, but the newness, like going to play at Utah, going to play at West Virginia,
Yep.
going to play down in Houston, playing at Arrowhead Field. We play Kansas at Arrowhead,
Yeah.
which will be awesome. Hopefully I can find a way to bump into
And to Carson.
Carson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, no, yeah, I'll probably definitely keep an eye on it. That'll be something that'll be on. Maybe we'll be up in the offices working on that first game, but be able to peek at that one.
It's great to see you, man. Congratulations on the new gig. I'm glad we had a chance to connect. Thanks so much for the time, and I'll talk to you during the season, all right?
Look forward to it. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
There he goes. Tyler Roehl,
Yeah.
Iowa State assistant head coach and running backs coach for the Cyclones, joining us here this morning. That was great to get a chance to catch up with him and just talk. We haven't had a chance to talk to him since the job at Tennessee State and then taking the job at Iowa State. And I always appreciate his time. And thanks for him giving us a few minutes here. We got to roll. So before we go, let's do some what to watch before we get out of here. Okay, Bison Media Zone coming up here in a couple minutes. Again, at the top of the hour, the U.S. men's basketball team plays another exhibition game with Serbia. That's a team they're going to see at the Olympics. They got some dudes as well. It's at 11 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. You can check that out. The Minnesota Lynx play their final game before the WNBA All-Star break. That's a noon tip on Bally Sports North. They take on the Atlanta Dream. The Lynx, of course, lost their most recent time out to the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. They wrap up the first half coming up at noon on Bally Sports North. Also, SEC Media Days going on now. Kalen DeBoer, the new head coach of Alabama, speaking as we speak here on the air. You can check all that out. It's available at ESPN Plus to see what's going on with the new Alabama football coach who hails out of South Dakota. Pretty cool stuff there. We got to roll. Thanks to our guests today, to Drew Trafton, to Tim Bergstrasser, and Tyler Roehl. If you missed any of the show, it'll be available via podcast later today at Inforum.com, also on our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. The Bison Media Zone, Joey Danielson coming up. We come back.